Real quick before we get into this week's video, I realize it's been about a month or two since we've actually done a science video that comes with a worksheet like we used to, and I'm happy to say that my kids and I just finished filming up one today. So if you haven't already, click the subscribe and the like button because that video will be posted very soon, and it'll come with the free worksheet that'll be on our website like all the others that you can download and give to your kids or use however you want to. And with that out of the way, this week's video is a pretty big departure from what we normally do on our channel because last week we had the opportunity to experience the traveling Holocaust exhibit. The Cattle Car exhibit is a multimedia experience inside an exact replica of a World War II cattle car that was used to transport Jews to concentration camps during the Holocaust. As you enter the cattle car, you can see the paintings of footprints on the floor that represent what it would have been like to actually be in a car with 100 other people. Thankfully for us and everyone experiencing it, they limit the amount of people that can go inside at one time to about 20 or 25. And once inside, videos are projected on the walls that recount first-person memories of Jewish Holocaust survivors. And I'll talk more about the cattle car in a second. So why make a video about this? Well, talking to your kids about war isn't terribly easy. And with the current state of events going on in our planet right now, it's becoming a harder topic to ignore. My wife found this book a while back designed to help encourage and facilitate difficult conversations with your kids. But of course, the topics of war and complex geopolitics wasn't covered. And as homeschooling parents, whenever we're tasked with educating our kids on subjects we aren't ourselves experts in, we often turn to the help of others. And the great thing about homeschooling, this can be accomplished in a lot of ways, whether it be online history exhibits, local or national historical museums. I find being able to show my kids history makes it much easier to talk about the present. And with terms like neo-Nazis and genocides being discussed on the regular, being able to take my kids to a Holocaust exhibit seemed like a good opportunity to learn the unfortunate lesson that history often repeats itself. And reading and hearing about the atrocities of war is of course a less graphic experience than seeing the first-hand accounts that are often displayed by current social and mainstream media of the present-day Russian-Ukrainian conflict. But since there are terribly unfortunate parallels between the two conflicts, once we learned about World War II and the Holocaust, it became easier to explain that wars like that unfortunately are still ongoing today. And getting back to the cattle car exhibit, it was definitely a somber experience. Again, once inside, they shut the doors and you really get an idea of what it would be like to travel for days inside an overcrowded car with no ventilation, no sanitation, and really no hope for escape. Just being in there for the short amount of time that we were was kind of uncomfortable, especially if you're claustrophobic. Fortunately for us and anybody in there, if you really get uncomfortable, you can leave anytime. Once the video starts, it lasts for about 20 minutes or so, explaining what the cattle cars were used for, and then you hear from survivors of people who were actually transported on these cars as they tell their stories. The exhibit is free to the public, and in the description of our video today will be a link to their website with much more information. You can find upcoming dates, opportunities to support them financially, and if you're part of a large enough group, church, or any nonprofit organization, on their website you can even request that they come to your site if they're not already scheduled to come anywhere close to you. And getting back to this book, if you're like me and really don't look forward to having these special conversations with your kids, a book like this can definitely help you out. It specifically gives advice on topics about independence, friendships, creativity, fairness, technology, hard work, sexuality, impulsivity. Obviously, I put my kids on the internet with our YouTube channel here, so the topic on technology was something I was really interested in. It's about 300 pages, but it's a very easy read. So I'll leave a link in the description for this book as well if you're like me and don't feel terribly eloquent when it comes to having conversations like these. It offers great tips to how to easily get the conversation started. So that's a real quick video. As I said, we'll be back to our roots in the next video with the science experiment, free worksheets, and everything that we like to do the most. So subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you then.